There's something really cool in this box. Can you guess what it is? It's Halloween, but it's also the launch day for the Lenovo Legion Go. And in this box is the Lenovo Legion Go. And we're going to be taking a look at it, giving you my first impressions, doing an unboxing, and stay tuned and please click the subscribe and click the like button and click the bell icon so you get notified, because I'm going to be doing a comparison between the Steam Deck, ROG Ally, Neo 2S, and well, why not, the Nintendo Switch. Ignore the Joy-Con, it's my wife's. We're going to unbox it, let's get into it, and let's see what's in the box for the new Lenovo Legion Go. I'm Blaze2K. Come follow me on x.com for behind the scenes snapperonis. And yeah, let's get into it. So you can probably tell by now, right, that I am handheld obsessed. I've been handheld obsessed ever since I was a kid, and I'm pretty much, nothing's really changed as far as that's concerned. I'm obsessed, and ever since we got the chance to be able to put gaming PCs in handhelds, I've become even more obsessed because, frankly, I don't want to get into the weeds too much, but we could play just about every handheld before it on these new ones, right? I won't say how, you'll probably know how, you know what I'm talking about. So without further ado, let's open the box, and as you can see, I kind of like the packaging. I like the glossy text on it. It looks very sleek, very premium. I'm going to turn our ASMR on in a minute, so prepare your ears. Here's the box it comes in. Very nice packaging. The nice little sleeve. Some paperwork in here. Here's the charger, and I'm pretty glad it's a 65-watt charger. And I like how the angle of the power connector is down, so that's kind of nice. It doesn't stick all the way out. So here we go. The sleeve is out. Let's flip the box around. Very nice. ASMR. You like that? Let's unzip it. What's inside? Is it the Lenovo or is it a brick? Oh no, it's a Lenovo. Here's the blanket, a little cleaning cloth at the top. Nice. Nice feel in the hand. Let's take it out of the plastic wrap. Not bad. The sticks feel really good. The back looks nice. The triggers feel perfect. The sticks feel really good. They feel a little bit smaller than the Steam Deck for some reason, but nothing thumb grips won't fix. Really clicky buttons. Touchpad doesn't click. One thing to note. Still feels nice though. Here's the bottom USB-C 4.0 port. Volume. Another USB-C, micro SD slot. A power button and an audio jack. Here's all the side buttons. I love all the inputs on this. Look at all the inputs and the scroll wheel. A scroll wheel for using that as a mouse. Here's the laser for the mouse input. Here's the button you press to disconnect the controllers. Really happy with the controller. I mean, really happy with the inputs. The D-pad is a little bit shallow though. But the triggers feel nice, the bumpers feel nice, all the buttons feel nice. One complaint is the D-pad's a little bit shallow, and we'll go into that later on in my first impressions. Here's the little attachment that you connect it for the mouse. And here's the hole in the case for charging it whilst it's in the case. Removing the controller is pretty easy. Slotting it into the little mouse attachment. I can't believe it could do this. That feels really nice. Oh, I can get used to this. Yep. Yeah, I can see myself playing COD on this. So guys, so far, first impressions of it in the hand, it does actually feel really nice. I'm surprised with these ergonomic grips at the back. It does give it a little meaty, sort of something to grab onto, which I quite like about it. Now, one thing I noticed straight away is the touchpad is not clickable. All right, so if you remember, obviously on the Steam Deck, you've got your touchpads here, and a lot of people love these touchpads. Can't have a console without touchpads anymore. And one thing I liked about them is that they have a haptic sort of click to them, kind of like the Apple MacBook's touchpad, right? It's got a haptic click, and you feel that click, and you feel like you're clicking down. Well, the touchpad on the Lenovo, I would use it only for really navigating things. I wouldn't use it for gaming unless you don't mind just tapping. You will have to tap to click on it. That's one thing I noticed. Now, I was really surprised. You probably saw me using the mouse function with the right stick. Was it the right stick or was it the left stick? Yeah, the right stick's got the little scroll wheel on it. I was actually surprised how decent it felt for FPS games. when I saw videos of people using it like Dave 2D, I instantly thought, oh, it's like you've got to use some sort of claw grip to work it. But surprisingly, at least for me, at least, first impressions, it actually felt pretty good. I could see myself actually using that. A lot of people will say, oh, yeah, it's fantastic. Oh, it's just as good as a mouse. And, when they're reviewing or unboxing this thing. And I was really hesitant. I'm not going to lie to you. It feels really good. It does. I feel like I can get used to it. I've not used it yet on Call of Duty or anything, which is what I like to play. But when I do, I'll give you a follow-up video talking about how things feel after having used it for a bit. So yeah, the mouse function, I'm impressed and I'm kind of excited to give it a shot. Right off the bat, like I showed you, it feels pretty good when I'm using it like that. I was using the side buttons as the mouse 1 and 2, which I think that's what they're meant for. I don't think clicking these ones at the back would have been as intuitive as when using it as a mouse. These ones definitely feel pretty comfortable as a mouse, and the scroll wheel on the back feels pretty good too. So I'll give you an update video on that. Also go check out Pixel Buys. But yeah, really impressed with this. Now, as for comfort goes when holding it, okay, these edges that are kind of sharp, as you can see, they do dig into your hands or your palms a little bit. Now, I don't know how that's going to feel after a long play session. So if you're playing this thing for hours at a time, I'm not sure if you're going to start getting bruises in the meat of your palms there, because it's not a ergonomically round edge like the Steam Deck is, right? I mean, you can see here on the Steam Deck, it's got a curve around it. Ignore the messy, dirty screen, but it's got a curve and it just feels comfortable. You've got nothing digging, no points of pressure on your palms. Whereas this one, you do. They went for a more blocky approach to it. I'm assuming it's probably for the buttons and just to make it a little bit more, realistic to have these little side clicky buttons for the mouse. As for how that's going to feel over time, stay tuned. I'll let you know on x.com or Twitter. If you have a question, come follow me on X. Ask away. Right? If you've got questions, come follow me on x.com. But yeah, not too bad. The D-pad feels fantastic. It's a traditional D-pad. From what I've seen in the videos of other people unboxing it and testing a little bit, the D-pad, it doesn't seem to... when you put it down and press like the corner of the bottom on the D-pad, sometimes it can register a different input. From what I've seen, it doesn't do that. I wish it had a bit more travel. It feels very flat. I don't know if you could see that. It feels very flat and very flush to the frame. That could be a gripe. You see how flush that is? I wish it stuck out a bit more. Here's the Steam Deck for comparison. For just a quick comparison here. Lenovo Steam Deck. Look how much more, sorry, it's hard to get an angle on that. Look how much more the D-pad, can't really see for the sticks, how much more the D-pad sticks up on the Steam Deck. It's kind of hard to gauge it, sorry, my bad. There you go, see? And then there's the Lenovo. Very flush. Not sure if I like that yet. That's one gripe, I would say. Let's see. The weight of it doesn't seem bad. I think most of us typically are going to be playing this thing, with our elbows on something, whether it's our elbows on the side of the sofa, on our lap, and laying in bed. We're going to be sort of propping it up with something. I think, like other people have covered in other videos, if you're going to be holding your arms out like this for hours, it's going to get a little bit tiring. It doesn't feel massively bad, though. It doesn't feel massively worse than the Steam Deck. It is got some weight to it, and I like a little bit of weight in my electronics. It makes it feel premium. Here's the kickstand. You can angle it, obviously. It's adjustable. Loves any angle you want. Very customizable. I hate the kickstands that just that you open out and they're just floppy, and you've only got one angle. But this one, you could really angle it down like that and use it as the tablet portion for whatever you want to do, and then use the mouse and stuff and treat it like a little computer screen if you wanted to, technically. I'm very happy with the inputs on it. I think it's fantastic that they gave us 2 USB-C 4 ports, so this thing's going to work great when it comes to graphics amplifiers, general eGPUs. I'm really excited to give that a shot, as well as USB peripherals like webcams. Now, I have tried streaming on a Windows device, the ROG Ally, and you've only got one USB-C port, and that's basically to plug it in and to keep it powered as you're streaming. Now I could foreseeably see me getting a USB-C webcam for the top of this, and obviously charging it under the bottom port. And as I showed you on the case, it actually has a charging port that allows you to charge it through the case whilst it's in the case. So that is super nice. And obviously here's the sensor here for the mouse input. It is a laser. So yeah, really nice so far. Good ventilation. Love the hardware. This is my unboxings, first impressions. Like I says, cons maybe just the sharp edges on the side. But frankly, I see why they had to do it for the mouse inputs. Those are real nice. I'm not going to criticize them too much. We can get cases for that. We'll get used to it over time. It's not going to be a big deal. The D-pad being a little bit shallow. That's one complaint. But I'm not sure. I'm going to have to get into some retro platformers and see if that's a big issue. And the normal buttons, the A, B, X, and Y, these feel fantastic. I mean, I had a big issue with the Steam Deck A, B, X, Y buttons. The B button was getting caught on the side of the shell. This one isn't slanted down, so it's flat surface. It feels great. The responsiveness is great. The start select buttons are good. They're flush as well, but not for those. I don't mind them being flush, but the D-pad, a little bit too flush for me. Plus and minus button for volume. Obviously, your 3.5mm jack, and the power button is not Windows Hello compatible. It's not a touch. It's not a fingerprint reader. So don't be expecting to just sign in with one tap like you do in the Rogue Ally. That kind of sucks. And it is a portrait-based display. Okay, so go watch a YouTuber called The Fox, and he's mentioned this on X or Twitter, if you want to call it Twitter, that they've put a portrait display in this thing. So when you boot up Windows for the first time and you're setting it up, Windows is you're gonna have to turn it to the side and set it up, because it's by default it's a portrait display. It's meant for like a tablet. They put a tablet display in this, which is a little bit disappointing for a big manufacturer like Lenovo. Obviously, the ROG Ally had a landscape display, and the benefit of having a landscape display is you don't get a lot of compatibility issues with older games. Older games don't like when Windows, you're playing on a portrait display on Windows and you try to play a game on a portrait display and like have software turn it around. A lot of games don't support that. There's workarounds, but it's not ideal. They've removed VRR from the thing, and that's one of my biggest pros that I liked about the ROG Ally. It's just how buttery smooth it is for the framing consistencies. If your game's jumping up between 40, oh God, sorry for the smudgy screens. If the game... These screens get so dirty, I'm sorry guys. The frame rate's jumping up and down. It can be a little bit jarring on displays that are not VRR, and that's a massive difference I've noticed between the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally. Even if the FPS is jumping up and down, it still just feels buttery smooth on the ROG Ally. I don't know why they were advertising this screen, which is obviously a Quad HD, 144Hz, why they were advertising it in the initial teasers and trailers to have VRR when it doesn't. They removed it from the trailers. So I'm a little bit disappointed and bummed about that. We'll have to see if that makes a massive difference. And obviously, if I'm decided to play older games on this, the portrait issue is going to be an issue, but obviously you've got Reddit for that. If you want to find out how to correct that, it will rely on you doing a little bit of tinkering software-wise to get that to working fine. A lot of people are excited to try Linux on this thing and have it feel more like a Steam Deck. More power to you. I'm probably going to keep Windows in mine just because Windows is a lot more, I feel like it's just less hassle, less things to tinker with, less things to go wrong. It's obviously not everyone's favorite operating system, certainly not mine, but I don't like to tinker too much with things. The detachable controllers, there's a little button down here that you press in, and it's not as intuitive as the Switch. Now, I feel I might get used to this. It's not a case of the Switch where you press the button at the top and just slide down. It does feel like you are going to need to learn it a little bit more. As for going on, it does just slot on real easy. But obviously, that little button thing, you're going to have to get used to that. It is just as easy as the Switch, frankly, but it's different than the Switch, slightly different, but you'll get used to it. And there's not much, I feel like there's a lot less play on I guess we'll call them Joy-Cons, the side controllers. It wiggles a little bit. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Oh, it fell off. I maybe didn't put it on properly. Hopefully that's going to be an issue going forward. Can you imagine dropping your $800 Lenovo Legion Go by accident because you never put the controller on? That could be a concern. But yeah, as far as I mean, there is a little bit of play. Maybe there was more play there because I didn't put the controller on properly. But a little bit of play in the controllers there. It came off without me having to press the button. Concerning. Is that going to be an issue? You heard it here first. Controller gate on the Lenovo Legion Go. So there you go. Kickstand's obviously really nice. I like the display. Playing games on this 8.8-inch Quad HD display is going to be fantastic. A lot of people are complaining because it's Quad HD. I get it. It's less efficient on the battery. It's obviously overkill. You're not going to be able to run games at 1440p unless they're extremely older games. But it's nice to have. We could always upscale. Hopefully games don't look too blurry when we try and like downscale them to 720p. Fingers crossed, okay? But yeah, overall, positive. From what I've heard from some other earlier people that have got theirs before me, the software seems a little half-baked, and we're going to have to see how that is. And hopefully I'll give you a rundown video talking about that at some point in the near future. So stay subscribed, click the bell icon. I am a handheld geek, and I love handheld consoles, so I'm excited to get into this. Won't be doing it in this video, in today, but I just want to put out a quick unboxing video and just give you my first impressions. Very happy with it. Is it the Steam Deck killer we've all been waiting for? Possibly. Look at the size difference. Okay, hold on. Put them side by side, make it fair. See if I can zoom out. It's a bit bigger than the Steam Deck, isn't it? It doesn't feel worlds apart, honestly. It frankly doesn't. It feels about the same size as the Steam Deck. In my hands, maybe a little bit taller, obviously. Here it is next to the ROG Ally. It's a fair bit bigger than the ROG Ally. In the iNeo 2S, let's see. Obviously, even bigger. But for me, the screen's going to be worth it. Having an 8.8-inch display playing your favorite games. What's not to love? Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, one last thing. Don't forget to follow me on x.com. I'm always there posting behind the scenes stuff, talking about it. If you have any questions, just ask me on x.com. x.com/Blaze2KX. Blaze2KX on x.com or Twitter if you want to call it that. Come say hi, come follow me on there and let's talk. Anyways, take care. Goodbye.
Let's go.